Hello guys and welcome back to Toucan Tarot. Today's reading, well, maybe a bit of sadness, maybe happiness, who knows, but it is all about a relationship. So is it over? Is this the end? It could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, or somebody that you're starting out with, or somebody that you've not even started yet but you just have your eyes on. And the question we're asking is it over, or and is it the end, basically? Right, if you want to jump straight ahead, timestamps are down below in the chapters. But yeah, welcome back to Toucan Tarot. Thank you so much for all the love that I've been getting on my channel. My first month back has been amazing. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, remember to do so. Help me get on that YouTube algorithm. And yeah, just thank you so much. All the likes, all the comments, they all mean so much. And I've been inundated with private readings, so again, thank you so much. Let's just jump into this reading though, shall we? So again, is it over? Is this the end? We've got 3 cards to pick from. First of all, we have the wonderful Frida Kahlo, who we all love, and that's number 1. We then have Alighiero Boetti, number 2. And then we also have Tracy Emin, number 3. So we've got all the artists today. So we've got Frida Kahlo, Alighiero Boetti, and Tracy Emin, and we're asking, is it over? Is it the end? Now, again, I get asked this all the time. Sometimes you may be drawn or confused about 1 or 2 piles, or maybe all 3. If that's the case, there may be messages in more than one pile for you. So, feel free, if something doesn't resonate, to pick another pile. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Most often, more often than not, I certainly do. But yeah, shall we get started then? So, we're going to start off with Frida Kahlo, number 1. This is your reading, and again, pop those aside there. We are looking at, is it over, is this the end? So again, for some of you, you may be in a relationship with this person, or about to start, or just seeing each other, but it applies to all. So is it over, is this the end? Let's have a good shuffle. I've shuffled these cards already. I'm going to be using the Lunar Soul Tarot today, but I'm going to give them another little shuffle. Yeah, and I just want you to take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and we're asking, is it over? I'm also going to try and get some messages through from my spirit guides today. I mostly read through my guides, and those of you that watch my channel will be familiar with that, but also, of course, the cards as well, but predominantly through my guides. So we'll try and get some good messages from spirit today as well for you, and see what comes through. One more little shuffle, and we're looking at pile 1. Is it the end? Is it over? So let's go ahead. We've got card number 1, 5 of Wands. Card number 2, 4 of Discs. We've got Strength. I don't read these cards in reverse, and the Lunar Soul, just in case you're wondering. 7 of Wands. Okay, I'm also going to pull out a couple of Moonology, and then we'll pull out more as we go along. But we're asking, is this over? Is it the end? Interesting. Let's pull out a couple of Moonology. So we've got the mutable moon, nothing is set in stone. And we have the waxing crescent moon, have faith in your dreams. And of course, the wonderful Frida Kahlo. So should we just dive straight in and see what we come up with? Definitely one thing that strikes out. Obviously, we've got the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Discs here. And there's definitely a player type character going on here. Whether that's you or them, it's coming through that it is mainly them. So they're definitely of that kind of player variety, shall we say, or they love competition. It's all about winning the game with them, it seems to be. So that's something that I'm feeling definitely irks you, so to speak, or definitely rubs you up the wrong way, because of course you want them to kind of drop that act, because it is an act. When you meet players and people like that, it is a bravado to a certain extent. It's all about ego. So there's definitely a lot of ego that is coming through here. And also possessiveness, a bit of possessiveness and clinging on, ownership or entitlement. I'm getting the feeling that it's almost like they feel that ownership over you, but they're not giving you the full, you know, here I am, I'm yours completely. There's still that wandering army, or there's certainly not a commitment that they're giving you here. Whereas much like, you know, the Four of Dis here, if they just realise that if they just drop these balls here, the key to their door of happiness is there. But they are very much stuck in that kind of ego mode. You know, certainly to get straight to the answer, we've got here, nothing is set in stone yet, the mutable moon. So it's not an absolute, yes, this is the end, is it over? It's not a case of it is. But certainly it is hanging in the balance, as you well know. And sorry, I can't be a bit more clearer than that, but you know, it could still swing. I'm literally seeing a balance here, and it could still swing either way. A lot of it is down to them, but also the bit from yourself. We see with Frida Kahlo, and I'm going to read this because it is so apt for yourself. Convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell painting without pain. Art is your most loyal companion. Externalize your internal world. So we're definitely getting that there's communication here that needs to come out from you, you know, honest communication. As I mentioned, all these things that this other person is doing and that it certainly isn't pleasing you, you've not been too vocal about it. And I mean from the heart. I feel that you may have been a little bit passive with it, as in you have said things but not direct. This is where my heart is. This is what I feel from you, and this is how I'd like it to go. You need to come to the table now. What are you putting on the table? Because this is what I want. And that's definitely a conversation that needs to happen. We see this strength card here, and this is actually coming through from both of you. And you know, when you look at the strength, it's an absolute inner, I mean, I love it. You've got, not only is there balance in strength, and this is definitely coming from you, but also a bit from them as well. And you see the beautiful queen or lady sitting there, and she's stroking this lion. She's not managed to tame this lion by being, you know, with weapons and fear, and she's managed to tame this lion through absolute love and compassion. And that's the advice here, is coming through to just be pure and yourself. And with that, almost what Frida Kahlo was saying here, you know, externalize your internal world. You need to get that out, but really from the heart, not in a passive aggressive way, or not just, you know, this bugs me, but really speak from your heart and lay it on the table again. This is what I'm bringing to the table. What are you going to bring to the table? And that's definitely the biggest thing that's coming through. There is here, we've got the Seven of Wands, and you know, this certainly speaks of my guide saying there's a defensive, almost like a self-preservation thing from you. I'm getting this from them too, and I'll flip onto that in a moment. The same with the strength. I mentioned that they had it as well, but this really, my guide is saying, is speaking to you. It's like you've got this self-preservation. You know, I am getting the feeling that you've been hurt in the past. Oh, I just want to give you a cuddle. I really feel when I read, and I just got all the feelings of a sad energy, and I definitely am feeling that you have been hurt before, and this is why this situation is so infuriating to you, and I'm so sorry that you're feeling that right now. And again, if I was right there, I'd give you a massive big hug. But yeah, you've almost got this self-preservation bubble around you, and because again of hurt in the past, and almost like a defense mechanism coming up. The biggest thing to be reminded of here is that, you know, the universe will never throw anything at you that you can't overcome and handle. My guide says this all the time. You know, we are where we're meant to be, and as that sounds frustrating and cliche, it really is true. But it's time, darling, to take down that, well, exactly that, take down this, you know, self-preservation bubble that you're in, because we have to let things in to be able to feel and to be able to deal. Again, it's almost like this person, you know, isn't giving what you want, and they're acting out, they're a bit of a player, a bit of a wandering guy, haven't fully committed yet, but you know, you've got this bubble around you. So again, the communication's not getting out, because you're almost worried that you're going to push them away, my guide's saying. And here's the thing, sweetheart, and you know, this is a frustrating thing to hear, but if you do push them away, if they're meant for you, they'll come back to you. And that's so frustrating in these moments, right? But it is so true. And you've really been called upon now to get that inner strength. You know, you can only let people hurt you if you allow them to. If you can imagine, you have this self-preservation bubble around you right now. The more my guide is saying the more you keep that around you, you're not showing your true self, you know, and the more you keep that around you, you're never going to be able to, again, let love fully in or let it out. The sooner, and also this whole cycle continues of you know, trying to please or not wanting to push buttons in case it does push them away and so forth. But that's just causing you more hurt. By taking this bubble down and again laying your cards on the table, always, not just in this connection, but you know, in any connection you have in life, whether it be friendship or so forth, you will know sooner and quicker whether it's meant for you. If it's not, boom, there's someone out there that is meant for you. And you know, the longer that you're dealing with a person that isn't, the longer you're going to be waiting for a person that is. And again, you know this. You know, I'm saying this out loud and my guide's laughing, saying, you know this. But it's easier said than done, isn't it? But that's, again, you've been called with your inner strength. And we're not talking about raw strength or fiery strength. We're talking about inner love strength and building that heart so that, you know, again, those that aren't meant for you, that's fine. You know, everything happens for a reason. Everyone comes into our life for a reason. Lessons are to be learned from every connection. Going back to this connection, again, it really is in the balance. It's not a definite no, and it's not it's not a definite yes that it is going to end, and it's not a definite no, because the conversation hasn't been had from the heart and coming from them as well. And they also too, we mentioned here that this is mostly for you, but also for them, have this, you know, this self-preservation bubble and this defensiveness in that they're just not very good at letting people in. This bravado that we spoke about and this ego, it's not the real them, you know. We will go through, if you can imagine, the major arcana starts with the Fool, ends with the World, one big huge cycle throughout that major arcana. And then we start again. Everybody goes through it. And the mode they're in, or have been in right now, is of that bravado ego mode. However, you know, they will come through that. So it really is a case of laying all your cards on the table from the heart, not from anger, not from fear, but from the heart. Remember this strength card, from the heart and from love and what you truly desire, forgetting everything else and what if, but what if that, or, you know, I know it's so scary to do that. Again, it's so easy to say, isn't it? But it's so scary to really lay ourselves bare. But only when we do, guys, you know, that's the moment when we know if it's meant for us. And, you know, they will lay their cards on the table. Have faith in your dreams. You know, your time is coming, love is coming to you, whether it be with this connection or the next, but you're not going to find out until you really deal with this, you know. I'm seeing a nail on the head, and you know, you really need to either way, because again, there's so much imbalance there right now, which way it's going to go. Again, externalize your internal world, your heart world. And that's not just with love, but in everything. I'm going to pull out a couple of self-care oracle cards for you as well. I'm really inclined to. And I'm also going to pull an animal oracle. Again, this is just a short reading on my YouTube channel. But, you know, if you wanted to go into this in more depth, and it resonated, but you still have more questions, I have opened up my private reading. So just pop, you know, the details are down below. Have a look on my website and get booked in. But yeah, you know, you got to lay all the cards on the table. It's now or never. If you carry on in this cycle of no real communication, it's going to, you know, if you want things to change, it starts with you. First, you must change yourself. And so true. We've got sovereign and we have priorities. Let's start with priorities. The quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects what you want. Yes, this is what we were saying. You know, you have to, there's no point if you're stuck in this cycle of something that isn't good for you, that isn't making you feel good, that isn't what you want. Change it. You know, priorities, your priorities. No one else is your priorities. Sovereign, you are the queen of your life. Treat yourself like royalty. Yes, yes, exactly that. You know, it's time to dust off this bubble of self-preservation, which, you know, again, I know you've been hurt, but it's time to let people start seeing the real you. And the sooner you do that, the quicker the love is going to come. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. It's been a pleasure reading it. I've loved it. More you from the heart though, heart strength, not fiery or fear, from the heart strength. I really hope this has resonated with you. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to know a little bit more, I will see you in my private readings. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Pile 2, if you chose Alighiero Robetti, or Boetti shall I say, then this reading is for you. And we're looking at, is it over? Is this the end? Let's have a look what the cards are saying for us. We're going to start off by, let me just pop that up there. We're going to start off by using the Lunar Soul Tarot. I have already given them a good shuffle, but I've been inclined to shuffle them a little bit more. Yeah, and we're looking at, is this for you? As most of you will know that have watched my channel before, oh, getting stuck there. I mainly predominantly read through my guides. However, of course, really the cards act as, you know, a trigger. So we're going to get as many messages from Spirit today as we can, and just see what comes up. I am going to start by using the wonderful Lunar Soul Tarot, and we're also going to introduce a few Oracle decks in the process as well. So take some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and we're asking today, is this over? Is it the end? Is this over for you guys, pile 2? Is it the end? Let's have a look. We have the Emperor. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Moon. Interesting. And we have the 5 of Wands. I'm also going to pull out a couple of Moonology cards as well. I'm feeling really inclined. Oh, guys, this is looking cute. Let's see, let me just pull out this and then we'll dive straight into it. I'm going to pull out a few more as we go along as well. New Moon in Leo and Hold Your Vision. This is exciting. Let me just dive straight in. Sorry guys, my camera just wigged out then. Yes, exciting. So I will start off by saying that I don't feel this is the end. Straight in there. I don't feel that this is the end. There's definitely more to come with this connection. And we start off with the Emperor. And what do we know about the Emperor? You know, the Emperor, there's a lot of quite regal, focused, certainly with matters of the mind. Let me just bring this up here so you can see. Certainly, yeah, very focused on matters of the mind and so forth. Drive, power, energies coming through here. So, you know, you're definitely dealing with someone that I would say within their work perhaps as well is they're very focused at the moment. But one thing that is coming through is it's almost like an early focus. So on, you know, this person, like for example the Emperor, you may compare him to a king as an example of one of the suits. However, the Emperor's not quite, is at the very start. You know, we're literally talking the 5th in the Major Arcana, at the very start of the cycle. So, you know, this is someone that's, whatever it is they're doing, they're very early on in stages in that, which is why they have so much focus. And I'm hearing that because of that, you may not feel that, you know, they're paying enough attention to you or giving you as much, but it really just is because they are so focused and on this journey with again, I'm feeling work and business and even just maturing actually, but they're very tunnel vision right now. And there is a lot of ego there as well, you know, when you get into this testosterone mode of almost like the drive, power and drive are the biggest things that are coming through here. So, you know, when you can imagine being pumped with an adrenaline, you know, a pump of adrenaline, and you're just vroom, so tunnel vision, vroom, that's almost what we're feeling here. But again, it is in the early stages, so they haven't necessarily got the insight to see how that is affecting you, or how that you do feel perhaps a little bit sidelined by that. But my guide is saying that, you know, it's certainly not so much to do with the fact that they don't think the world of you or think so much of you, because there is definitely feelings there from them towards you. It's just because there's so tunnel vision in what's happening in their life right now. We've got the 9 of Cups as well, the Moon and the 5 of Wands. And the 9 of Cups, you know, we're talking about self-fulfillment. And this, my guide is saying, is really for the both of you. They're on their way to that at the moment. I'm definitely feeling that you're a little bit more evolved in the cycle, so to speak, than they are. And if we're looking at the cycle being the major arcana, you know, you're a little bit way along from that. But yeah, that they're racing towards it, whereas you feel that you have that, which is why you're ready to invest completely. And, you know, now is the time, so to speak. And again, it isn't that they don't want that. They're just, life is so, I'm seeing chip-choppy, fast-paced. You know, that they're just not, you're both in a bit of a different space. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it certainly can be misinterpreted, can't it? Especially from your end, when they're not really giving you much. But they're not giving you much because they're not interested, is the feeling that's coming through. It's more of a case of there's just so much going on. Hectic is the word, hectic and busy. We've got the moon as well. The moon. You know, when we look at the moon, we're talking about all things emotions, and there certainly is a lot of emotions with you going on right now. But a lot of fear as well. And there is from them, almost trust is the word that's coming through. And my guide is saying, trust in thine own self to you. You know, whatever you're feeling at the pit of your stomach there, trust that. And the feeling is, and my guide is saying that feeling is probably that, you know, they do like you. You're just not sure. Obviously, you're here. Is it over? But there is so much love. It's just whether or not you're on such different paths right now. But I am feeling, as said at the very beginning, that this isn't over. It's just a case of whether for now, but this isn't over in this connection. It's just a case of how much you want to kind of, it's really hard because for some of you, maybe now is just the wrong time. They can't give you what you're hoping for. But if you're willing to hang on, but then, you know, my guide's saying, but you shouldn't wait around. You should carry on with your thing because they will always gravitate back towards you anyway. So, you know, that is the way to look, is if it isn't for now, guys, you need to just, with all your strength and might, and, you know, your emotion, and this is, you know, the moon comes up. There's a lot of fear in you that, you know, if you do walk away now, then that literally is going to be it. And that's not what the feeling is here. That's not what the energy is saying, and my guides. So, you know, you need to kind of trust in thine own self. Trust in the unknown is the biggest thing. Trust in the unknown. And there's a real vulnerableness that's coming through from your end here. And rightly so, because, you know, you don't want to let this person go, but they're not giving you what you want. But again, it really is a case of trust in the unknown. Take that step forward and trust in the unknown. Definitely a conversation deep from the heart needs to be had here. You know, because there's almost, I mean, we've got the Five of Wands here. And certainly the Five of Wands normally speaks of a competition of sorts, you know. Competition and almost defensiveness, I would like to say. So I definitely think that for them, there's fear in them as well. They don't want to let go of you, but they know that they can't fully give you what you want, right? And at the same token from that, it's really hard to say because, again, I think it's not that they don't care. It's just they're so overwhelmed with this journey that they're on right now. But there's definitely competition there. I will say that, you know, one of the things that is coming through is that you've just met too soon, so to speak, because of this different path that you are on. You know, from them I am getting that they're a little bit of in a gameplay mode, and they don't realise, you know, the hurt that they are causing. But there is a bit of game playing, you know, they think they're being quite cheeky and, you know, but it's not, that's not it, because for you it doesn't feel, you know, like sometimes when you have in a relationship as an example, it's fun, isn't it? There's this like kind of game back and forth, and that's the fun bit at the beginning. But it's not really fun for you anymore. Confidence is your key to success, and hold your vision. Again, my guide is saying a real conversation needs to be had with this person for sure. And a real conversation with real emotion and real heart. And, you know, there's quite a bit of similarity to pile one actually in this pile, in the sense of that, you know, you really need to get, because of the type of back and forward you guys normally have, it needs to get a little bit realer. You know, really all cards on the table, what is going on here. If now isn't the right time, then it's not the right time. But we need to stop this back and forward because it's too painful for your heart. But again, my guide keeps telling me, don't be afraid of that letting go if now isn't the right time, because, you know, don't fear the unknown. This isn't a connection that's over, and, you know, they will gravitate back towards you when it is the right time. And the big thing in that my guide is saying is, you know, if that is the way that this is going to go, you need to fully delve into the unknown, hold your vision, confidence is your key to success, and go for it with yourself. We've got here Alghero Boetti, and he says, know who you aren't, find clarity in clutter. There's more than one way to read a map. And there really is. This is what I was saying. It isn't a case of, you know, you go forward, there, behind. No. Again, the connection isn't over. It's not going to be over. There is going to be some kind of meeting in the future because there is real care here. It's just a case whether now is the right time. But this is really important. Know who you aren't. You aren't this person right now that is happy to have what this person is offering. And again, we come back to the moon, trusting in thine own self, and, you know, really listening to your own emotions. Forget them, they'll be back. And that's the real fear with you. So it's a case of letting go of that. Confidence is your key to success. You know, be confident in your decisions, move forward with clarity. I'm going to pull some self-care cards as well for you now. But guys, this is all positive, and I know it probably doesn't sound it, it's matter of the heart, and listen, you know, this is so easily done, but remember the different stages we mentioned that you were both at. You know, you're very much in that self-fulfillment. You are you know, you are so much further ahead of the cycle than they are, and they will be too at some point, but right now you are on very different stages. We've got change course, and we have rituals. Oh, I like this. Let's have a look at change course. These cards are so pretty. We've got change course. A closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. And this isn't necessarily just talking about turning your back on them, you know, that may not happen just yet, but it's talking about start being real with you, change the course of what's right for you, not just, you know, what you want to do to stop losing this person. You're not going to lose this person. You need to start focusing on what's good for you. They're going to gravitate back to you. As I said, there is something special here. But again, you need to start looking at yourself. And then we've got rituals. I love this for you. Steady yourself with simple rituals. Do the dishes, fold the laundry, water the plants, make a cup of tea, and let wisdom sneak up on you. And this person definitely has, and again, with the moon and the wands here, you know, this person definitely has had that grip over your mind. You know, it is something you're constantly obsessing over, I would almost say, which we all do, don't we? But yeah, it's time to focus on you now. Again, the biggest fear you have of losing this person, it's not the end. So knowing that, you just need to really go inward, what it is that you want, whether this is right now or later, because you need to start focusing on you and what makes you happy. I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. It's just a really short reading. I wish I'd go into more detail because there's a lot more coming through, but it is a short reading just for YouTube. If you wanted to go into more, I have opened up my private private readings. Thank you for those of you that have been dating me. Yeah, pop into my inbox, have a look down below. You can see them on my website, all the details are below, and we can go into a bit more further, because I really wish I could spend more time. There's a lot more that's coming through. But yes, this is positive, guys. The biggest fear you have is losing this person. That's not going to happen. So when you realise that, and with that in mind, you have to trust the unknown and grab yourself, get back to this self-fulfillment cycle. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Get me on that YouTube algorithm. But yes, let me know if there's any particular readings you want as well. And let me know where you're from. I'm always so obsessed with knowing where all my followers and people that view my videos are from. I find it so humbling and interesting. But yeah, I'm sending you all the love and light. Again, don't worry, this isn't the end. but it is time to start focusing on you. Big love, sending you all the love and good vibes, and we'll see you soon, possibly in a private reading. Let me know. You take care, guys. Guys, if you chose pile 3, Tracy Emin, this is your reading. And today we're looking at, is it over? Is this the end? And again, you chose the fabulous, awesome Tracy Emin. Right, we're going to get stuck straight in. I'm going to pull some cards here. In fact, let me pop that to the side there. I'm going to use the Lunar Soul Tarot. I've already given it a good shuffle since the last pile, but I'm trying to do a little bit more. As most of you know, if you've watched my videos before, I mainly read from my guides, but of course the cards really just act as a bit of a trigger for certain messages. But yeah, let's see what comes up today. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely comment below. I love hearing from you guys, where you're from, what your thoughts are. If there's any videos, oh, it's stuck there. If there's any videos, that you'd like to do in the future, let me know. But for now, we're looking at, is it over? Is this the end? I'm feeling already, pile 3, that I just need to give you a big hug, because I think this is certainly something you're struggling with right now. So I'm sending you all the love and light as we speak. Let's just go ahead and get the cards out. I'm using Lunar Soul. We have the Knight of Wands. And I am doing them all, we're not doing reverse cards today. King of Discs. The Moon. And the Queen of Swords. Interesting, guys. Super interesting. And then I'm going to be using some Moonology. Today, these are just short readings for YouTube, guys, but of course if you want to go into more detail, we've got New Moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off, then just hit me up on my private readings, and a personal issue reaches resolution, Full Moon in Cancer. Oh, let's just get stuck straight in, shall we? Right, so, we're definitely seeing that, the type of person, there's two contradicting things here. It's almost who they are and what you want them to be. Unfortunately, they don't match up right now. So we've got the Knight of Wands, and what do we know about the Knight of Wands? Blimey. See all this fieriness. They're riding a lion with their stick, just bowling into the sun. We're talking about a really, I want to say player, a real super player type. I say super player as well. Certainly quite egotistical, likes the party, and that's very much the wavelength they're on. We see right next to that the King of Discs. This is somebody that you want them to be, which is so opposite. I mean, this is somebody very mature versus very immature. This is somebody, that's marriage material. They have so much ambition. I mean, I love the King of Discs. He's one of my favourite kings. Very much the do person. If they say they're going to do something, they do it. They're grounded, powerful, leader. Mainly, we'll always see them as a bit of a boss at work. This person is almost the young, naive version of that, but way more fiery and emotional, but really much more immature version. They're just not where you want them to be, guys. The reality is, and my guide's saying, it's hard. I can only tell you what comes through in my readings, and rather than sugarcoat it, I need to just tell you what comes through, because it's maybe not what you want to hear, but they're just not in that headspace. I'm definitely seeing this connection as a bit of a, really, whether it's over or not is up to you, of course, but in reality it should be, darlings, because they're just not at all in the space that you want them to be. There's a real fear from you of losing this person, but what my guide is really pushing through here is to remind you that they're not who you think they are. The vision of you, it's almost rose spectacle glasses, and we all do it. Don't feel silly about this. We all do it. It's human nature. And, if you can imagine, let's think of you, yourself. There is a million versions of you out there in all the people you've ever met. Not one person thinks exactly the same version of you as the other. We show everyone we meet different sides. They form their own opinions of us. There's millions of versions of us out there. The version that you're seeing this person is not the version they are. They're not there yet. They're not as immature as you'd hope that they'd be. And sure, we still see a knight. That's someone that is absolutely on their way there, but they're not they're not in this king mode yet, which is really what you want and where you need them to be and want them to be, but they're just simply not yet, and then they're a little bit off of that. It's going to be a while, and you know, again, very much someone that wants to party and this, and I'm definitely hearing someone that, you know, they're really smooth talkers, so someone that tells you a lot what you want to hear, which is why you've built up this image of them that isn't perhaps so, and you know, they're very good at, they're very persuasive, very cheeky, very charming. But in reality, you know, they're just good at that. They're just good at winning, influencing others and making friends in that sense. You know, that book, you know, typical salesperson in that respect. Again, that's not to say that they won't evolve into something more, but right now, the reality is that that's not going to happen in this near future. We see the moon, you know, there's a real fear, and I just want to give you a big hug now, because I know that this, you really wanted this to work out, and there's a fear of well, a fear of losing them. But what my guide is saying is that the fear, you know, the person that you're fear of losing isn't the person that you think they are. So in reality, you shouldn't be fearful about losing them, because the quicker you lose them, the quicker the person that you think they are, this king, can come forward for you. They're not this person. This is who you need and want. They're not. They're this guy, you know, or girl, whichever resonates with you, of course. And that's the biggest reminder. You know, my guide says he always wants to shake you, because again, all these feelings, all this heartbreak is over something that your mind has kind of put into place that isn't factual. You know, this person is no way near. My God, if they could be what you think they are, but they're not. They're just really good at putting on that bravado and putting on that mask to appear that way, but they are not. We've got the Queen of Swords here. Let's get on to the Queen of Swords. I love the Queen of Swords. I see a lot of the Queen of Swords in myself. Focused, fierce, slightly naive sometimes when it comes to matters of the heart, because you're such a logical thinker. You know, your power lays in your mind. And then this is why this person has almost, you know, tricked you, because sometimes matters of the heart, you can be a little bit fooled in. But, you know, you're fair, you're measured, quite cunning as well, I would say. And the strength you have is unreal. Look at that sword she wields behind her with the beautiful owl on top. You know, this is you. This is no match for this. It just isn't. It's no match for it. You need this. That's what you need. And this person isn't it. You know, they're just not. They're not it. They're way up here while you're way down there, rather, while you're way up here. You need to, you know, it's funny because you're coming through as such a straight talker and someone that's no nonsense. But again, in matters of the heart, sometimes, you know, it gets the better of you, even though you are fierce. But it's really time to clock in that logical mind now and realise again that they're not who you think they are. Your hard work is paying off and a personal issue reaches resolution. So it's going to come to a head. You are going to, you know, the full moon in Cancer, the full moon of this whole loving relationship, the moon is full now. Time for a new moon to start, yeah? New moon in Capricorn, in fact. Your hard work is paying off. When we say hard work, my guide's saying it's not about actual work, although you are doing well, and that's certainly an area that's going to blossom, but this is not the reading for that. And again, you've got exciting stuff to come in the work front, my guide is saying. But again, let's get back to this and this really, the connection. But this new moon is a new moon of you. It's a new moon of, you know, without those blinkers on, without those rose glasses, which is so you anyway. You're not normally like that. But again, sometimes matters of the heart can just have you a little bit... yeah, they might fool you a bit because you are so vroom, vroom, vroom. We've got Tracy M in. Don't hide your dirty sheets in the washer. Concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in your art. Decay can be a fertilizer for new ideas. Yes, it can. Again, you know, every single connection that is put in front of us, guys, in our life is done for a reason, to learn a lesson. There's a big lesson here for you, and it's remember to see someone for who they are, not who you want them to be. And again, we all find ourselves, every single person on this goddamn planet finds ourselves in that position. So, you know, this will be a real lesson. We say about a new moon, exactly that. Decay can be a fertilizer for new ideas. You know, you have to move on from this dredge so that your king can come up and come through for you. Don't hide your dirty sheets in the washer. This next bit, concentrate on your findings, not losing. You know, again, you're not losing anything here. They're not who you think they are. So concentrate on finding this king rather than worried about losing this knight. Again, it is all so easy said than done, but my guide is saying that you need to muster up every bit of Queen Swords energy that you have in you to get over this, because it does not serve you. It's not right for you. And it's good that it's come to an end, because enough is enough of this player, you know? Time to find your king. I'm going to pull out a couple of oracles for you as well. So guys, you know, I know it's not what you want to hear, but it is. It's what you need to hear. And this is a powerful reading. And I hope that you come out of this empowered, raw, let's go. Because the quicker you get rid of this, the quicker you'll find your king. I'm going to leave them down there as well, because they do not belong on your level. And you are fierce. Let's have some self-oracle. I'm going to put them there. We have ease, yes, and we have listen. So let's start with listen. It's a really important one for you. People start to heal the moment they feel heard. You're not hearing your true self at the moment. You're hearing this bubble self of what you hope is going on. You've got to trust in thine own self. We come back to that with the moon as well. You know, this fear of letting go. There should be no fear. As Tracy Emin, you know, concentrate on finding, not losing. But start listening to your true self there, guys. And we've got ease. Oh, and this is how easy and breezy your future is. Today, I allow life to be easy. And you know, my guide is saying that this is an affirmation that you should have every morning, every moment in the day where you remember. Say that to yourself. Today, I allow life to be easy. Because it really is. I don't think you realise what kind of power and rawness you have within you. It is so powerful that you'll almost laugh at entertaining this person in months to come, I promise you, in weeks even. You know, matters of the heart are always, they're the hardest of all, aren't they? But you have totally got this. You've got this. Badass Tracy Emin, badass Queen of Swords. Your king is around the corner, but you need to cut this out. I hope this resonates with you, and let me know in the comments below. Again, it's just a short reading, and there was some really exciting stuff, especially in your career here. If you do want more of a detailed reading to do with this or anything else, any other questions you may have, just hit me up in private readings. All the details are down below. But yes, comment below. I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know that you've got that raw. Again, remember, you're not losing anything. What you think you're losing isn't real. They're not this person. They're not. So, you know, the moment you realise that, the moment you won't mind finally getting rid. But sending you so much love. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Be so appreciative. It's a perfect energy exchange. And yes, comment below and let me know your thoughts. And for those of you that are going to go ahead with the private reading, I'll see you there. Sending you so much love and light, guys. You have the power. Wake up and realise it. Take care, guys.